2 years ago, President Biden was visiting Florida after a hurricane. He knew the TV cameras were on him, and he casually commented, "Nobody f***s with the Biden." Unfortunately, the White House forgot to tell the members of the Delaware jury. President Biden's re-election campaign got hit by a torpedo on Tuesday when a jury convicted his son Hunter on 3 different federal felony charges. Ironically, the fate of the most anti-gun president in American history could be settled by the firearms convictions of his son. Individuals purchasing a firearm must sign a federal form attesting that they are not a user of an unlawful drug. Hunter was convicted of 2 counts of lying and also of possessing the pistol he bought for 11 days while using illegal drugs. 3 years ago, in his memoir, Beautiful Things, Hunter received endless media applause for doing his victory laps as a recovering drug addict. Hunter's lawyers at the trial in Delaware sought to expunge that memoir and almost all of Hunter's prior statements. His lawyers claimed he was not a user of illicit drugs at the time he bought that 38 special. Apparently, since Hunter did not stop in the entrance of that gun store and fire up his crack pipe, he should have been presumed to be not a user of drugs and therefore not hit. In his memoir, Hunter talked about meeting drug dealers late at night to buy crack at convenience stores. And he had text messages about going to one of those stores late at night just before he bought the gun. And his lawyers were talking about, well, he was just there to buy coffee and donuts in the middle of the night. Now, the key thing here is that 7-Eleven does not have yeast-raised donuts. If they had really great yeast-raised donuts, maybe his defense could have held water. But no, I mean, they're almost as bad as Krispy Kreme, to be honest. Another irony here is that Hunter was caught in a legal tar pit that his father helped create. In the 1980s and 1990s, Senator Joe Biden was among the most outspoken, outrageous drug warriors on Capitol Hill. He was championing policies that sent hundreds of thousands of Americans to prison for long periods of time. Federal agencies have been conniving to whitewash Hunter's crimes ever since his brother's widow, who he was having an affair with, tossed the gun he bought into a Delaware trash can. Secret Service agents descended on the gun shop that Hunter bought the gun at and sought to seize all the federal paperwork on the sale, even though the Secret Service had no jurisdiction. The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency turned down a Freedom of Information Act request about the records on this case because it said it would violate Hunter's privacy. But the biggest cover-up occurred in June 2023 when the Justice Department gave Hunter a sweetheart plea deal that would involve no jail time and no felony conviction for his firearms offense. Instead, he was entitled to enter a pretrial drug diversion program. That blanket exoneration exploded in federal court when a judge asked prosecutors and defense attorneys to explain the novel deal that was better than any other defendant ever got. Hunter could face up to 25 years in prison, though the actual sentence he gets will probably be far less, perhaps with 0 jail time. Plenty of non-Bidens have been sent up the river for the same offense. In 2019, a federal prosecutor said that rapper Kodak Black needed, quote, tough love, and he was sent to prison for 3 years for the same offense that Hunter Biden was convicted for. After the jury verdict was announced, President Biden issued a statement that he and Jill will always be there for Hunter. Biden pledged not to pardon his son, but that has as much credibility as his oath to uphold the Constitution. Keep in mind, this is a president who brags about scorning the Supreme Court decision blocking his illegal federal student debt forgiveness schemes. Biden would have been more honest if he had pledged not to pardon his son until after Election Day. Biden's devotees have not given up hope that he can survive this. There was a Washington Post headline on the verdict says the conviction could be political burden as president runs for re-election. You think? Actually, Biden could suffer far more damage from Hunter's tax evasion trial scheduled to start in 3 months. The one certain thing is that Delaware jury verdict destroys the Biden image of legal impunity. Will that verdict bring forth more whistleblowers with fresh dirt on Hunter or his father or other members of the Biden family? After the verdict, Hunter issued a statement admitting that he was disappointed by the outcome, but stressing that recovery is possible by the grace of God, and I am blessed to experience that gift one day at a time. Will this nation be blessed to experience political recovery via one jury verdict at a time and one election result at a time?